Rejoice, everyone! We're back with not another Seki Reacts to Fate.
Unfortunately,
Fate review.
Alas!
This
Fate!
is the Anime Club.
Fate!
I'm Nick Knack. With me is the great Lord Vorn,
The first rule of Fate Club is don't talk about Fate Club.
Realm Shifter,
I'm gonna kill you for that one, Seki.
Just try me.
and Seki. This week, if you couldn't tell, we watched Unlimited Blade Works. So yeah, I guess,
Put it all the way up.
why don't we do the rounds? I'll start with Seki here, because I think Seki was the most energetic one when I showed up today.
Right, so I was very fucking energetic about this, right? You know how much I hated Fate Stay Night 2006,
Yes.
right? But like, we watched from episode 0 to 12, right?
Yes.
Just double checking I watched the right episodes. Anyways, so like we started on episode 0, and holy fucking shit. First of all, this series is so much better with Rin as a main character. First of all. Second of all, holy shit, the animation. And the OP was great.
Yep.
That ufotable did God's work.
Be still my literal swooning heart for 90% of this 13-episode submission. This is an absolute approved. This is like an approved on the level of El Malloy at this point.
That's impressive.
I will fight
praise.
for this show.
How about you, Realm Shifter?
So, I'll just put my rating out there right there. This isn't approved for me as well. I did actually enjoy this one quite a bit. I wouldn't say that this one is going to change my, not opinion about the Fate series, but it's not going to encourage me to watch more of the Fate series on my own time. But this is definitely this is the series where I can see, okay, I can understand why this series has such a huge, massive following.
Fam, I almost kept watching at episode 13. I deadass was just gonna keep going.
Yeah. And but this one, like, it was good. Like, there were really good fight scenes. You got to see more of the servants, and Rin was also a blessing in this show. A much needed character for the travesty that was the original version of this. So yeah, this one was much better, and at the very least, even though Shiro is still Shiro, I appreciated him a little bit better in this version than the original one. A little bit.
How about you, Vorn?
My opinion is the same as it was when I watched it. I liked this show, as always, of course, because I watch Fate movies with you, Nick Knack.
Okay, this is like, when we went into Fate at the channel, this was the one you were saying was your favorite of the Fates you'd seen.
Yeah.
I think you'd only seen the first season of this one in 0, right?
I seen this, I seen 0, I seen the Cardinal Phantasm one, funny as ever, as always.
God,
And
I can't wait.
I watched the movies with you.
But that was later. Like, that was after we'd done stuff.
He means before
Yeah.
we started on the
before.
channel.
Yeah, no, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is an interesting watch-through for me, because I've started...
Shit. Sorry. Go for it.
I've started reading the visual novel since the last time I watched it. I didn't make it very far in the visual novel yet, but I did read, like, the stuff covered in, like, episode 0, 1, and a little bit of 2 and 3. I did read, and I don't remember if maybe it's just the extended cut, but I'm seeing a lot more of the layers that were in the visual novel now, and the extended cut at the very least. And at least in the original, it's night and day with StayNight, I feel, for the characterization here. Everyone just feels a little bit more fleshed out than they did in the original StayNight 2006.
You're talking about the original visual novel or a different visual novel?
Both StayNight 2006, the anime, and the visual novel. I'm being a little confusing here, I guess, but maybe I should separate my comparisons. It is a billion times better in the older anime, and it feels a lot more faithful to the visual novel than the original anime. That's what I'm trying to say here, I think.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is an absolute approval. I've actually found a lot of new appreciation for this series on this watch through.
Okay. So I pulled up what I forgot to pull up before. As we've been doing recently, I want to touch on music and the studio itself. So let's talk about music first. So the music is by Hideyuki Fukasawa, who did not do the 2006, obviously. but did do the Full Metal Alchemist movie, The Sacred Star of Milos. Also did Learning with Manga, Fate Grand Order. Also the Divine Realm of the Round Table Camelot. And he did Orient, which is an anime that I have actually seen. He also did a bunch of video games, one of the Monster Hunters, some Mobile Suit Gundam, a Dragon Ball Z, some Street Fighter, some Marvel stuff, and Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon.
Oh, that's the new remake of the visual novel.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. So
Wait, which Marvel stuff?
Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Fate of Two Worlds, and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Mm-hmm.
I also did Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4, and Street Fighter 5,
Mm-hmm.
and Ultra Street Fighter 4. So, some big names in game. Not a whole lot on his track record, right?
So he was the sound director. That's a little bit different, actually.
I
The
think
sound
so.
directors, that's where you get all the sound effects,
Yeah.
like the clangs from. The one who did a lot of the music was actually Yuki Kajira.
Well, yeah, but I'm doing, looking at the fucking... Oh, I see my issue. I specifically looked up fucking... I clicked the wrong name. That's actually for the OVA. So he did all the OVA work, specifically.
Wait, can I come take a look at that? I know which one you're looking at.
Yeah, the Sunny Day.
Oh, okay.
He did
yeah.
Sunny Day, the OVA. Now I see Yuki Kajira.
That's not something you guys will be watching.
All right, let
Yeah.
me restart with Yuki Kajira, who's done Tsubasa, Reservoir Chronicle, Elemental G-Late, I know, One of the Fist of the North Stars, Pandora Hearts, Madoka Magica, Sword Art Online 1 and 2, Erased, Alicization, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Almoy, Grace Note, Study of Vanitas, Fina Pirate Princess, and the new Demon Slayer, and also a bunch of movies including Kara no Kyokai, obviously, Puella, some Fate stuff, some Sword Art, yeah.
She's one of the bigger music people in the anime industry.
Yeah. I've actually seen quite a few things that she did before Fate, which is interesting.
Oh, yeah, no, she does a shit. You've seen
Well, no,
Sword
'cause-
Art Online.
Well, yeah, but I've seen Tsubasa, Reservoir Chronicle, and
Yeah.
Elemental G-Late. Specifically, like those two, which is interesting. But anyways, yeah, you're right. I was looking at the OVA.
Yeah.
Because I'm an idiot. But yeah, so that's Yuki Kajira for
I gotta
the music.
say-
I will say, I liked the OP. I didn't find any issue with the sound kind of direction or what was happening like under the talking and like fighting. I did like a lot of the sound effects. Got a whole thing about sound effects later. I didn't love the ED, but I don't usually love EDs, so I'm not going to hold that against it.
So, on the topic of like the music, the Yuki Kajira stuff that plays throughout the anime, I actually think this is one of her weaker soundtracks. I like a few themes in the anime a lot, but I feel like this one lacks the identity that a lot of her soundtracks seem to have. It feels more like we're going Yuki Kajira by the numbers with occasional remixes of Fate Stay Night tracks from the visual novel.
Mm-hmm.
I like the OP well enough. It's not one of my favorite Fate OPs, but it's decent.
I do like it a lot.
The main ED, I'm pretty okay. I don't care about it much. But then there's the episode 12 ED, which is completely different. I actually really like that. It's a remix and a redo of both the Fate visual novel OP, as well as, if you remember Fate Stay Night, that was the OP for the original Fate Stay Night as well. And I think it works really well as an ED.
Something that I've driven completely from my mind.
Yeah, no, that's the kind of thing I only know because I've seen these anime a million times.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really, really like that. But otherwise, I think the soundtrack, and it's not bad. I'm kind of middling on it.
Mm-hmm. I liked it. I thought it was good. Moving on to production company, Ufotable.
Ufotable.
Ufotable. The thing that Knick Knack continuously performs fellatio on. God, don't make that so they've done a few other notable things in the Fate series, mostly Fate Zero, Garden of Sinners, Unlimited Blade Works. They did Demon Slayer. Apparently they're doing an as untitled Genshin Impact series, which I heard about and I'm
Yes.
very excited for.
Their big claims to fame are Fate and Demon Slayer.
Yeah, they've done a few other things, but nothing huge.
Ooh.
What's actually interesting is their OVA ONA list for me, because they've actually done one of the OVAs for Toriko that I have seen. which is interesting. Also,
What year was that one?
It was in 2009. It's pretty
Okay,
early.
so this is pre-Fate. This might even be pre-Garden of Sinners. I wonder how that looks compared, because a lot of the modern ufotable style comes from the Garden of Sinners movies.
Yeah, because I watched all of Toriko, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and I really like Toriko. Also, they do today's menu for the Emiya family, and I really want to see that. And then a ton of movies, mostly Garden of Sinners. They do the Tales of Zisteria series
So
pretty regularly, and they have Witch of the on the Holy Night, which is a Fate work, but not.
it's a tight moonwork, and it's not out
Yeah.
yet, so not much to say on that
Yeah.
one.
Also, a lot of video games. They do a lot of video games, not all Fate related.
No.
Which is pretty cool. Although they do a lot of Fate games.
It's interesting if you look at Ufotable's history, because, while I do suck off a few key Ufotable anime, if you look at the ones that aren't Demon Slayer or Fate, oftentimes they end up having beautiful animation, but they don't do a good job adapting them. But I think Fate and Kimetsu no Yaiba really are the... If you're talking Ufotable, you're talking those two 90% of the time.
Yeah, and so this show came out in during 2014-2015, during winter and spring.
And I think it would look good if it was released today.
No,
Oh,
it looks
yeah.
really fucking good, especially the fights. 10 out of 10. Like, there is nothing wrong with this fucking anime. I don't think I noticed any significantly awkward animation moments at all. Like, and let's be honest here, I was looking to find issues. I kept pausing on my favorite characters to see if their faces would ever make weird bits.
So do you want me-
every paused minute was an absolute slap.
Do you want me to do something to you that might ruin Ufotable for you?
What?
So a lot of these early Ufotable works, while the body animation is really good and everything's consistent, you'll notice their facial expressions are not done, they don't do facial expressions very well.
See, but I didn't. So obviously I was staring at the servants, right?
Yes.
But across the servants, and I was regularly pausing on Ku and Herc and looking at screens. It was stunning every time. There were no awkward moments on the servant faces that I could find. I will say there was maybe one scene where Ku is in the corner in the darkness, and the body proportions are a little off. His legs are a little too long and his torso is a little too short, but it is literally only noticeable for someone like me who spends their entire time staring at this man's bodily dimensions. I want this man in such a blasphemous way, hell itself would spit me back out.
She is really, really, really wanting that Lancer's lance.
It's not even Lancer. It has expanded at this point. I mean, obviously Lancer is still the primary, but anyways.
That guy Bulg is too enticing, I guess.
I point dramatically at my Lancer figure.
Yeah.
Anyone want to know how to get Seki? Dress up as Lancer. There you go.
Fam, there is a plethora of moments where this man, the animation of his hips and thighs mid-fight. Oh!
We'll get into it more in the spoiler section, I'm sure. We don't get a lot of Ku, but what we do get is really well animated.
Let's be careful we don't turn this into an 18-plus episode.
Okay, anything involving Fate Servants is 18 plus once Seki gets involved. Let's be very honest here.
Okay, this is a
You did not watch the Romulus Corinius video. People literally commented about the thirst level in that video.
Welcome back to the Thirsty Show, boys and girls.
I
This
am
time, Realm isn't
parched.
the one that's peeking the mic, it's Seki.
It is
Yeah.
genuinely me. I am parched at this anime.
Yeah.
Also, in the next episode, which we're going to move on to in a second, I took notes on my reactions to everything that happened in this anime, and I will take pictures of them and put them on screen at relevant times. Because I feel like our viewers will enjoy seeing my blabber of thought, especially our Fate fans.
Yes.
Because it'll be like a Seki Reacts, except for on paper, because that's basically what it was.
Yeah.
By the way, if anyone's wondering when we're going to get a Seki Reacts to the Archer from this series, this is it more than likely. I don't see a world in which that gets much more than a footnote otherwise.
Well, because there's no lore for me to go off on,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Because Archer's his own original character within the story.
Well,
we'll get to that later.
We'll get...
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We'll get
alright.
that too when we get to it.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see you guys in a few days. Like, comment, subscribe.
See ya!
Try harder, everyone.